the fabulous, the stupendous, the very charming and very talented Jake West. We're thrilled to call him Nanaimo's own. He's been living here for about 6 months, and we'll find out more about his talent later on this edition of The Daily. Also in the lineup today, we are going to check in with Together is Amazing, Fill the Food Banks 2012. There are lots of ways that you can get involved in helping to put food on the tables of the more than 900,000 Canadian families that don't get enough to eat on a regular basis. We're also going to check in with Michael Williams, our island chef. We're braising some beef and mixing it with some tomatoes, and it's gonna be yummy, I can guarantee you that. We're also going to check in with Kelly Robinson. She has another edition of Pet Tales, and or Northwest. The guys are having a bit of a rough go of it, but I think overall their spirits are still high. Dan Kahn has more on that. That's Jake West. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. Jake, what is that all about?
Well, this is just a new clown act that I'm going to be performing tomorrow, and it's actually not mine. It was given to me by Peter Boulanger out of Underground Circus in Vancouver, but I'm really excited to put it into my comedy routine tomorrow, and I just can't wait to do it. So thanks for helping me.
Quite different when you're doing it in front of a live audience. You've got different people on stage, you're interacting more, and you've performed in many different countries. What comedy is, there's no boundaries. It's an international language. You can perform for anyone?
Indeed, and most of the things that I do are silent, and most of it's physical comedy, right?
Yeah, right. You're very fit. You have extensive training. Tell me a bit about your background.
Well, I started performing 10 years ago. And I was inspired by Cirque du Soleil. I had a friend in Cirque du Soleil, and I went and visited them. They threw me off the Russian swing, and I got to do bungees, all this stuff. Oh, it's fabulous. Yeah, so since then I've just been training and street performing, corporate, theater, festivals, everything, you name it, I've done it.
Pretty competitive. How do you make yourself stand out from the rest?
Yeah, that's a good question. I just saw Jamie Atkins. Do you know, he was just here in Nanaimo, his solo show. He's an amazing circus artist, fabulous comedy, like lasts from beginning to end. And I emailed him and I asked him this exact same question. And he emailed me back with a fabulous answer, and he's like, as an artist, you just have to develop a show that you think people are gonna like. And you just have to trust it. You just have to trust it. You can't know what everyone's gonna like, and you can't appeal to everyone, but you just gotta trust your art and trust your work that people will like it, and if people like it, the word gets out, and away you go.
You're fairly new to Nanaimo, here for only 6 months. How are you finding it?
I love Nanaimo. I absolutely love it here. It's beautiful. The air is so good. I love it here so much. I really want to stay. It's tough.
Okay, we're going to try to recreate a little bit of Jake's performance.
Yeah,
now keep in mind that it's just 2 of us here, and I have no idea what this gig is all about, so we're going with the flow.
Now, I do a lot of comedy stuff, and one of my big grand finales is this huge thing. I involve about 6 to 9 people on stage, and we have this big band, and it all starts with the cowbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give me a little rhythm. We'll just practice, Okay, whoa, slow that down. Wait, hang on. Give you a little something here, huh?
Oh, actual rhythm.
Actual rhythm. You can do that.
If I can do it, okay.
All right.
We'll be back with more from Jake West on this edition of The Daily. In the meantime, if your household is anything like mine, where the dog's eating the cat food and the cat's eating the dog food, maybe you're wondering about the health of it all, that's up for discussion on the next edition of Pet Tales. But first, we're going to head over to Port Alberni. Darren Evans is introducing us to an artist who stays in the moment with beautiful results. contact juggling with Jake West. He's new to Nanaimo, been here for about 6 months and loving it so far. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. There's something special about these juggling balls. Tell me about them.
Well, it's actually a really relatively new form of juggling. Actually, it's only about 30 years old, and which is really new in the performing arts. And they're made out of acrylic.
Okay.
And they're just really eye-capturing,
Kind of
mesmerizing, and audiences always love it. Always. I haven't met an audience that hasn't been captured by it.
Tell me a bit about the technicality of how you got to move your hands to control what you're doing. Can I just drop this one in there?
Sure, yeah. Starting with 2 is the trick. The thing is about finding the room in your hands. And you've got a lot of space there, right? Like, check out how much space you got.
Right.
And so it's just about finding that, and then it's actually about breaking it down really slow. So it's moving, it's about finding the movement in your fingers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many could you do at one time?
I can do 4 at one in
He's
each
just
hand.
gonna
I can
go
do
over
8.
and get some more.
Yeah,
His
sure.
whole little bag of tricks over here.
Yeah, you bet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
one of my buddies, Chris Murdoch, he can do 10, but I can only do 8.
Split between the two hands.
Yeah, split between the
okay.
two hands. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you can shift them.
The light's incredible.
I know that's what makes it so beautiful, right? Is the lights
And this is one part of about a 40-minute show that you're able to perform. What formation? Is there a name for each formation?
Yeah, there are. I think that's the hourglass.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's lots of different stuff. There's like some guys are super geeky on this, like super juggling nerd geeky kind of guys.
That means they're really good, right?
They're really good and they're really into it. Like, oh, that was the hourglass shape into the hyper evolutionary thing, and I don't really care. Whatever, man. I do it for performing, right? I do it for people.
How much time do you spend practicing your art?
I try and spend 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day. Yeah, but not just this.
Right,
like
of course.
all kinds.
You've got a 40-minute show.
Yes.
And what kind of things do you incorporate into your show?
Clown, physical comedy, fire, juggling, 3-ball juggling, Chinese yo-yo, tons of different stuff.
And there's a lot about you on your website,
Yes.
jakewest.ca.
That's right,
.ca.
yeah.
You can go there, find
Yeah.
out some upcoming performances, how to book Jake for your upcoming performance. Maybe you'll leave us with a little bit more of the mesmerizing.
Sure. How about I'll go to 1 here?
Go over to 1.
Go back to 1 and
1. Okay. Wow. It looks like it's going to fall off his hand. 3 hours a day practice on average. It takes a lot of time, skill, and dedication to learn how to cook well. Up next, we have Michael Williams, our island chef, that's going to tell you how to do some braised beef and tomatoes. That is Nanaimo's very own Jake West. We're proud to say that he's been here about 6 months with the Chinese yo-yo. You can get more information on Jake, his performances, through his website, jakewest.ca. That is it for this edition of The Daily. You can follow us on Twitter, you can like us on Facebook, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you'd like to have us come hang out with you for an edition, send me an email, kate.bergen@sjrb.ca. Before we wrap up, finally for today, I want to throw a big shout out to Sarah Stewart from Vibe Studios. She's let us use her fabulous space here today. The colors are awesome, and Sarah does a lot of wonderful things with youth and dance in our community. Thanks for watching this edition of The Daily. We'll see you next time.